All right, this was sent into the channel for a review. It is a general coverage receiver, and I don't know if I can pronounce the name of the company, but it's ZWS-C919, and it is quite the beast. So let me first describe what frequencies this thing can receive. All right, we've got FM broadcast, 64 to 108 megahertz. We've got shortwave, 2.3 to 30 megahertz. It does AM, lower sideband, and upper sideband. No CW, but you can use the sidebands to do that. The FM, I should say, had regular stereo and wide FM. It does medium wave 520 to 1710 kilohertz, and that's just AM. It has long wave 153 to 522 kilohertz. Has VHF 20 to 250 megahertz and UHF 250 to 999 megahertz. So basically, and it's got some extra ones. It's got the CB band, it's got air, AM modulation air, and then it's got the weather bands in VHF. So yeah, this thing is a beast. It does a lot. So let's take a look at the outside first. The first thing you notice is nice displays, nice big displays. S meter and a where all the frequency stuff is. We'll turn it on. But look at the size of the speaker. This is big, like a big 4-inch speaker, and it also has a some type of woofer system in it. It's a super bass. So it's either got a bass resonator or a driver. I don't know, but it's got a bass port in the back. It's got big batteries. It's got the 18650s or whatever they are. It's got 2 of those in there. It's got a little stand here that you can move out, and oops, I accidentally turned it on. It's got a bail that you can put it on your desk. Let me see if I can turn that thing off again. There we go. Okay. It's got a carrying handle. It's got external antenna input and various matching networks for medium, short 1, short 2. In addition to that, it's got a capacitor inside, so you can adjust those. It's got a telescoping antenna that's like 1 meter long, very long. On the front, we've got the display, buttons, speaker, more buttons. It's got 2 wheels. It's got this wheel and an inner wheel and a push button. More buttons here. It's got buttons galore. On the top, it has the telescopic antenna, but it has places for 2 external antennas, a UHF-VHF antenna that's SMA, and then a 1/8 inch jack for external loop. So you can either have the external loop here, external here. All right, so let's flip up the antenna here, make it go way up in the air. All right, so before we turn it on, I want to mention something that might be a bit odd. I've turned off the LED display. I don't know how I did that. The backlight. So if you get yours and it won't turn on, there's a button right here that looks like it's the power button, but it won't do anything because there's a lock over here. So if it's in the up position, the keyboard is locked. So make sure it's in the down position. Otherwise, you can't turn the radio on. And then you can hit any key, it'll wake up, or it depends on how you have it set. And then if you hit hold down this button, see it says locked. It won't do anything. If I push all the buttons, nothing happens because it's in the lock position. So we'll flip it up, and now it will turn on. Isn't that a nice display? I really like the display. All right, so let's put it on some band where it's not going to make noise, because I don't want. I'll just turn the volume down, I guess. Okay, so In order to operate the device, you can go through different radio bands here. You click this button, you're in AM. Here you're in low band. Here you're in FM. Here you're in shortwave. Okay, so that's what this button does. There's subbands. I haven't quite figured out what the subbands are. There's UHF and VHF. We can push this button. So there's the weather band. There is the VHF band, the UHF band, the air band, and the CB band. And we're back to the weather band. So that's what this one does. So let's say you're in one of these and you want to set the bandwidth of the filter. So that's it here. It's currently set to a 3 kilohertz bandwidth. Let's go here to shortwave because there's more choices under shortwave. So we'll take a look at the bandwidth, which is 3 kilohertz, I'm sorry. And we can go to 4 kilohertz. And we can go to 500 hertz. So that's great for CW work. 500 hertz, 100 hertz, 1000 hertz, 1.2, 2.2, and 3. I like to leave it on 3. So we'll have a bandwidth of 3. The volume, steps. So the wheels right now are set to do hundreds. Okay. And if you push this button, you can change it. So that's 500s. Here's ones. Now when I flip the button, we're changing the little one. So you can set the resolution of your wheel, and then the little wheel inside is now fine. So you have coarse on the outside and fine on the inside. So that's super cool. And then you can say enter. I just want to put in a frequency, say 15 megahertz. You can just type it in down here. It's got memory. So if I hit 1 enter, it's channel 1, channel 2, channel 3. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can scan channels. You can look for not vacant bands, and it'll store those away for you automatically. It's got a clock, it's got a timer, alarm, automatic shut off. Yeah, this thing's got a lot. It also has on the side, it's got line out, headphones out, and then it's got room for a tiny USB, a micro USB. You can put that in here. And you can use this as a, you could put songs on here and play them, or you can hit this button here, record, and it'll record whatever you're listening to. It can record that on the memory device here. That is super cool. USB-C to charge it up. Yeah. And then it has Bluetooth, so you can use it as a Bluetooth speaker. You can also control the radio via Bluetooth. So there is a application you can get for your phone, and you can control the radio with this application. Okay. There's squelch. You can change the squelch settings. Yeah, what a beast. I don't know why that turned off, but we can get it back. So let's see here. Let's turn this thing off. Okay, I'm going to hold down the set button. And LCD settings, key settings, app enable, tone, version, LCD settings 1. Okay, so time set, color set, so you can change the color of the display if you don't like green. I don't remember how to get to the lights. They're both on now. I guess we're okay. Anyway, let's get out of here and let's turn it back on. All right, let's turn the volume up. And let's go to
the lower 90s, miles per hour.
Okay, so you can hear that it's a little bit raspy. It's using some antenna, and it's currently set to an external antenna, which we don't have hooked up. So if I push the button, it says, use the whip antenna. Okay, and now it sounds really good.
Up to 5 miles, or increasing
We can go back to the external antenna, and
for Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Lows from the upper 50s to mid 60s. West wind 5 to 10 miles
all right.
per hour.
I've got, this is not included, but I have a UHF VHF antenna.
Mostly sunny.
I can put that on the top,
Breezy.
and now it's receiving really, really well with this external antenna.
Through Thursday night, partly cloudy.
Okay, let's take that off and turn this back
High
down.
70s and 80s.
Okay, so
Partly cloudy.
get you some other ideas about the quality of the sound.
Highs from the upper
We'll go to FM.
You're going to have
So,
so many
here's
more
AM radio.
games. So many more games now with playoff spots.
Collegium Music of 90.
And here's a stereo.
For viola and orchestra by Telemann.
So pretty nice sounding radio. Let's turn this on over here so it's quiet on me. All right, what didn't I cover? I can't cover everything. The thing's just too complicated. All right, so the radio has three issues. Three issues. One is that the airband, the squelch on AM modulated on the airband is a bit slow. And the other issue is on, and this is the biggest issue, on shortwave, all right? Got to get something shortwave here. When you change the tuning, it soft mutes. So while you're tuning, it soft mutes, and everybody hates that. Everybody hates that. There's rumor that there might be a firmware update that gets rid of that, but this one has the soft muting. You have to buy a more expensive radio usually to get rid of that soft muting. Most of the reasonably priced radios have it, but yeah, anyway, it is there. Let's turn this back. All right, so that's the other issue. I said there was 3 problems. What was the other problem? Oh, the oscillator. The PLL in the circuit is a bit warbly. You're not going to notice it on a spoken word, but if you're listening to a tone, then you can hear the warble in the phase lock loop or in the crystal or whatever's using to generate the IF frequencies. It does warble. Let me insert some previously recorded material here to show those things. Okay, we'll be listening to the San Jose Airport Tower frequency. So my complaint on the airband is that the squelch dies out too slowly. All right, so I have it hooked up to an external antenna, and we are receiving upper sideband. The reception isn't really good right now. Yeah, it's fading in and out. So we can go through different memory channels. That's 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz. I can just barely hear 10 megahertz. Listen to this for a second. So what I wanted to point out though is that the master oscillator, the VCO oscillator or whatever it is, wavers a bit. And if I tap the radio, I think you can hear that. So it's like there's a capacitor or a crystal that's sensitive a bit. Now I'm going to push the 4 button. You hear it? So there's something odd going on. Maybe it's a voltage thing, or the microprocessor just gets too busy. All right. There is an internal ferrite rod antenna for AM, but you also get this external antenna. So if I go to external, I can plug this in the top, and now I've got this rotatable antenna, which I think if you hear that, I can null it, and I can actually do radio finding with this spinny thing, or I can use it to cancel out some interference station, and that did come with the radio, so that's pretty cool. All right, it did come with this card that sort of shows you the block diagram of the system. There's the whip antenna, and then when you plug in the external antenna, it disconnects the whip. There's a change between automatic mode and manual mode. There's also the internal ferrite antennas, this one and this one. And then you can use the antenna tuner, which is a capacitor on the side wheel. And then there's regular VNAs. You can set. There's actually menus where you can get into. You can change VNA1 and VNA2. Those are low noise amplifiers, LNA1, LNA2, frequency mixing, local oscillator, blah, 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 blah. Microprocessor to control things, and here's the output, different bandwidths, de-emphasizing, modulators, squelch, EQ. You can change the EQ and stuff. Yeah, this thing has a lot in it. All right, well, there you go. That was my review of the ZWS-C919. I think it's a C919 radio. There'll be a link down below. Yeah, it does a lot. I think you could amuse yourself for hours with this thing.